Have you ever wondered if just 30 minutes today could transform the next 30 years of your life? Imagine this, sitting in a quiet, dark room, weighed down by the failures you once believed defined you. At that moment, I wasn't searching for miracles. I was desperate for direction. That's when I discovered Stoic philosophy, a timeless guide that doesn't promise quick fixes, but offers something even better: the tools to endure, grow, and thrive. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions or escaping reality. It's about mastering them. It's about building mental resilience, finding clarity amidst chaos, and learning how to act with purpose, no matter what life throws your way. This philosophy helped me take control of my emotions, focus on what I could change, and finally find peace within myself. In this video, I'm sharing 7 powerful Stoic principles that can reshape your mindset and your future. These aren't abstract theories. They're practical, actionable lessons you can use every single day. From embracing challenges to finding meaning in the face of adversity, I'll guide you through the most effective ways to apply these teachings. So, if you're ready to reclaim your life, discover your inner strength, and create lasting transformation, stay tuned. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our community here on Stoic Narratives Official. Together, let's transform today into the foundation for a stronger tomorrow. 1. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. In the quiet moments of our lives, we often lose sight of one unchangeable truth: our time is finite. Memento mori, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, reminds us of this. You could leave life right now, Marcus Aurelius wrote. Let that determine what you do and say and think. These words are not meant to instill fear, but to awaken clarity. Imagine walking through a hospital corridor where every room tells a story of life nearing its end. For many, regret lingers, not for what they did, but for what they postponed. Dreams deferred, words unspoken, time squandered. I once met a man who spent decades climbing the corporate ladder. He admitted that, in his pursuit of success, he had missed countless family dinners and milestones. When he finally realized that time was slipping away, it was too late to retrieve what was lost. His story haunts me, yet it serves as a powerful reminder of what truly matters. Memento mori invites us to reflect on this. Are we truly living or merely existing? Every sunrise is a gift. Every conversation is an opportunity. To practice this mantra, begin each morning with a single question. If today were my last, how would I live it differently? For the Stoics, this wasn't morbid. It was empowering. It helped them focus on the present, making each decision intentional. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." The time we spend worrying about what we cannot control and the time we waste pursuing distractions all belong to death. Think of a single day in your life. How many moments pass unnoticed, consumed by trivial concerns? Memento mori teaches us to reclaim those moments and to align our actions with what truly matters. Here's how you can start. 1. Pause and reflect. Take 5 minutes each morning to ask yourself, what if today was my last? 2. Prioritize meaningful connections. Reach out to someone you love. Say the things you've been meaning to say. 3. Act with intention. Commit to one meaningful task each day, something that aligns with your values and brings you closer to your true purpose. These small practices done consistently will transform how you see time. Memento mori isn't about fearing death. It's about living fully with gratitude and purpose. As you embrace this Stoic principle, you'll notice a shift. Regret will lose its grip, replaced by a quiet resolve to make the most of what remains. Every moment becomes an opportunity, a canvas on which to paint your legacy. Let memento mori not be a shadow, but a guiding light, reminding you to make today truly matter. From this truth flows a single question: if not now, when? 2. Make haste slowly, the power of measured action. If reflecting on mortality teaches us to act with urgency, how can we ensure that this urgency doesn't lead to recklessness? The answer lies in the timeless Stoic principle of make haste slowly. This paradoxical wisdom reminds us that progress is not a race. Instead, it's a deliberate journey shaped by thoughtful actions and careful decisions. Imagine standing at the edge of a dense forest. Your destination is on the other side, but the path is unclear. If you rush forward, you might trip over roots or lose your way entirely. But if you move carefully, Pausing to assess the trail and adjust your steps, you'll find yourself progressing steadily and safely toward your goal. This is the heart of make haste slowly. The Roman Emperor Augustus lived by this principle, guided by his Stoic mentors Athenodorus and Arrius Didymus. In times of anger or haste, he practiced counting the alphabet before responding. This simple act gave him the clarity to avoid rash decisions, ensuring that his leadership remained steady and measured. Augustus understood what many of us overlook. Haste often leads to regret, while patience allows wisdom to flourish. Consider a story from my own life. A friend, a young entrepreneur, found herself at a critical juncture in her business. Investors were pressuring her to expand quickly, while her instincts told her to wait and refine her plans. Against the tide of urgency, she chose to slow down, meticulously analyzing every decision. Her competitors dismissed her as overly cautious, yet her thoughtful approach eventually led to a thriving enterprise. Her success didn't come from rushing. It came from acting with purpose. But how can we practice make haste slowly in our own lives, especially in a world that glorifies speed? 1. Pause before reacting. In moments of stress or conflict, take a breath. This pause might seem small, but it allows space for clarity to emerge. 2. Prioritize quality over quantity. Shift your focus from doing more to doing what truly matters. Whether it's work, relationships, or personal goals, depth often outweighs breadth. 3. Break big goals into small steps. Just as a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, progress happens incrementally. Tackle one task at a time and trust the process. The Stoics knew the value of deliberate action. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You see how few things you need to live a satisfying and reverent life? Do nothing thoughtlessly." These words remind us that haste often clouds judgment, while intentionality illuminates the path forward. This principle also teaches us humility. Sometimes we confuse speed with strength, believing that faster is always better. But make haste slowly reveals a deeper truth. True strength lies in self-discipline. It's about knowing when to act and when to wait. As you reflect on this idea, ask yourself, how often do you let urgency dictate your decisions? And what might change if you chose to act more deliberately? By slowing down, you create the space to think clearly and act wisely. Progress may not always be fast, but it will be enduring. From this principle emerges another question. Once we've mastered patience, how do we find the resilience to endure life's inevitable struggles? 3. Adversity builds strength, finding power in struggles. If patience and intentional action lay the groundwork for wisdom, how do we cultivate the strength to endure life's inevitable hardships? The Stoics believe that adversity is not just something to endure, but a teacher that reveals the depths of our resilience. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body, Seneca wrote, offering us a blueprint for finding power in the struggle. Think about the last time you faced a challenge that seemed insurmountable. Perhaps it was the loss of a job, a broken relationship, or an unexpected health crisis. In those moments, it's natural to feel defeated, even powerless. Yet, the Stoics teach us that adversity is a crucible, a place where strength is forged and character is revealed. I recall a woman I met during a particularly trying time in her life. She had lost her home to a fire, leaving her with nothing but a few salvaged belongings. Instead of succumbing to despair, she embraced the Stoic perspective, that what happens to us can be transformed into an opportunity for growth. Over the next year, she rebuilt her life piece by piece, gaining not only a new home, but a renewed sense of purpose and gratitude. Her journey mirrored Marcus Aurelius's wisdom. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. But how can we apply this principle of finding strength in the struggle to our own lives? 1. Reframe challenges. Begin by shifting your mindset. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Adversity can be a powerful teacher if you let it. 2. Embrace small hardships. Strength is built incrementally. Just as physical muscles grow through consistent effort, mental resilience develops when we take on small challenges, like pushing through discomfort or tackling difficult tasks. 3. Remember post-traumatic growth. Many people emerge from hardship stronger and wiser. Reflect on past difficulties and consider how they shaped you into who you are today. The Stoics often compared life to a stormy sea. You cannot calm the waves, but you can learn to navigate them. They believe that hardship is not a punishment, but a necessary part of the human experience. Seneca wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Adversity, then, is not the enemy. It is the fire that tempers steel. Modern life often tempts us to avoid discomfort at all costs. We seek convenience, avoid pain, and shield ourselves from struggle. But by doing so, we miss the opportunity to grow. The Stoics encourage us to confront adversity with courage, seeing it as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. As you reflect on this principle, consider this question: how might your life change if you embrace challenges as a necessary part of your journey? Resilience is not built in moments of ease, but in the crucible of hardship. Every challenge you face is an invitation to grow stronger, braver, and more determined. If we can transform adversity into strength, how can we transform the unexpected into an opportunity for acceptance and gratitude? 4. Amor fati, embrace and love your fate. If we can draw strength from hardship, how might our lives change if we stopped resisting what happens to us and started loving it instead? This is the heart of Amor fati, the Stoic principle that asks us not only to accept our fate, but to embrace it fully. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." Life often hands us circumstances we wouldn't choose: failures, heartbreaks, and losses. The instinctive reaction is resistance, asking, "Why me?" Yet, Amor fati invites us to see these events not as obstacles, but as opportunities. It challenges us to transform every trial into a stepping stone and every setback into fuel for growth. I once heard a story about a man whose life was irrevocably changed by an accident. He lost his ability to walk, and with it, many dreams he had cherished. But instead of succumbing to despair, he decided to view this fate as his greatest teacher. He poured his energy into helping others with disabilities, creating opportunities for those who faced challenges similar to his. Over time, his life became a testament to the power of Amor fati, not just enduring fate, but using it to create something beautiful. How can we begin to practice Amor fati in our daily lives? 1. Shift your perspective. When life feels unfair, ask yourself, how can this make me better? This small change in mindset turns resistance into acceptance. 2. Celebrate the unexpected. Instead of mourning what you've lost, focus on what the situation has given you: a lesson, a new perspective, or a chance to grow. 3. Write your own narrative. Reframe the story you tell yourself. See each twist in your life's plot as part of a larger masterpiece that only you can create. Seneca reminds us, a good person dyes events with his own color and turns whatever happens to his own benefit. These words call us to engage with life actively, to take what comes our way and mold it into something uniquely ours. Think of life as a river. You cannot stop its flow, but you can learn to navigate its currents. Some stretches are calm, while others are filled with rapids. The Stoics teach us to love the river in its entirety, understanding that every turn shapes us. Each challenge we encounter strengthens our resolve, deepens our gratitude, and enriches our journey. In our modern lives, this philosophy may feel radical. We're taught to seek control, to mold the world to our will. But Amor fati teaches the opposite: to surrender control, and in doing so, to find freedom. By embracing what happens as necessary, even beneficial, we liberate ourselves from regret and bitterness. Ask yourself this: what would happen if, instead of resisting your fate, you loved it? How might your life transform if you saw every challenge, every misstep, as exactly what you needed? 5. Negative visualization. Preparing for life's uncertainties. If we can accept and love our fate, how do we prepare for the uncertainties that life inevitably brings? The Stoics offer a powerful tool for this: negative visualization. It may sound pessimistic, but in truth it is one of the most optimistic practices of all. By imagining the worst-case scenario, we fortify ourselves against fear and learn to face challenges with courage and composure. Imagine a ship captain setting sail on the open sea. Before departure, he doesn't just hope for calm waters. He prepares for storms. He checks his crew, inspects his ship, and maps out alternate routes. This foresight doesn't make the journey easier, but it ensures he's ready for whatever may come. Negative visualization is our mental preparation for life's storms. Seneca wrote, "The unexpected blow lands heaviest." How often do we find ourselves paralyzed by events we didn't anticipate? A sudden loss, an unforeseen failure, or a challenge that seems to come out of nowhere. These moments are painful, but they're even harder to endure when we haven't prepared for them. Negative visualization doesn't invite misfortune. It shields us from its sting by making us resilient. Let me share a story. A colleague of mine once told me about the most challenging year of his life. He had recently started a business when an economic downturn hit. While many of his peers panicked, he remained steady. Why? Because he had practiced imagining this exact scenario. He had already planned how he would adapt, cut costs, and keep his team motivated. His business survived, not because he avoided hardship, but because he was ready for it. How can we integrate this practice into our lives? 1. Visualize challenges. Spend a few minutes each day imagining what could go wrong. Ask yourself, if I lost my job tomorrow, how would I respond? If my biggest plan failed, what would I do next? 2. Create backup plans. Use these visualizations to prepare practical solutions. Knowing you have a plan in place reduces anxiety and builds confidence. 3. Embrace the mental strength it brings. The goal is not to dwell on fear, but to strengthen your mind. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. In modern life, this practice feels counterintuitive. We are often encouraged to focus on positive thinking, to avoid negativity at all costs. But the Stoics understood that by imagining life's challenges, we remove their power to surprise or overwhelm us. It's not about expecting the worst, it's about being ready for it. Think of it like a rehearsal for life's uncertainties. Just as athletes practice for every possible scenario on the field, we can mentally prepare for the trials we may face. When the unexpected happens, we won't crumble. Instead, we'll act with clarity and purpose. Negative visualization doesn't invite misfortune. It empowers you to face it. Through this practice, you build the foundation for resilience and peace of mind. So how do we align this preparation with the values that shape our character and guide our choices? 6. Transform philosophy into action. Living Stoic principles daily. If character shapes our destiny, how do we take the wisdom of Stoic philosophy and transform it into meaningful action? The Stoics believed that philosophy was not an abstract exercise, but a guide to living. As Epictetus wrote, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." The true test of our beliefs lies in how we live them each day. Consider the difference between knowing a path and walking it. Many of us admire principles like patience, resilience, and self-discipline, but struggle to apply them when life gets challenging. The Stoics challenge us to bridge this gap, to move from theory to practice. Let me share a story of a young woman I once met. Inspired by the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, she began her mornings reflecting on his words. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. At first, it was just a routine, but over time it transformed her. She became more composed during stressful situations, more deliberate in her decisions, and more present in her relationships. What started as philosophy became a way of life. So how can we transform Stoic philosophy into action? 1. Morning reflection. Begin each day with a moment of silence or journaling. Ask yourself, what is within my control today? This practice, known as premeditation, prepares your mind for the day ahead. 2. Daily practice. Focus on applying one principle each day. For example, practice patience during a commute or gratitude for small blessings in your life. 3. Evening review. Before bed, reflect on your actions. Ask, did I live according to my values today? Where can I improve? This habit of self-assessment keeps you aligned with your principles. Philosophy, the Stoics taught, is a mirror. It reflects not just what we believe, but how we act. Seneca wrote, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." These practices help us ensure that the tale of our life is one of integrity, resilience, and meaning. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to lose touch with our values, letting distractions dictate our choices. But the Stoics remind us that every action, no matter how small, is an opportunity to practice virtue. Whether it's pausing before reacting in anger or helping a stranger, each choice shapes who we are. Imagine how your life would change if every decision reflected the best version of yourself. What if every interaction became a chance to embody patience, kindness, or courage? Living Stoic principles doesn't require dramatic gestures. It's about the small, consistent acts that transform our days and eventually our lives. 7. Long-term thinking, building a future grounded in today's actions. The Stoics remind us that life is a continuum, and the seeds we plant today determine the forest we walk through tomorrow. Epictetus urged, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This practice of aligning present actions with long-term goals is the cornerstone of a life well lived. Imagine a gardener tending to a young tree. Every decision, where to plant, how much water to give, how to protect it from storms, is made with the vision of its future strength in mind. Similarly, our daily choices are the roots of the life we wish to create. I once met a man who shared his journey of transformation. For years, he lived reactively, making decisions based on immediate gratification. One day, after a personal setback, he began journaling, a practice inspired by Marcus Aurelius. Through reflection, he realized that his choices lacked alignment with the person he wanted to become. Slowly, he reoriented his actions toward long-term goals, building relationships, nurturing his health, and pursuing meaningful work. Years later, his life was a testament to the power of foresight and discipline. How can we apply this principle of long-term thinking to our lives? 1. Clarify your vision. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be in 5, 10, or 20 years? Write it down. This vision becomes your guidepost. 2. Prioritize consistency over perfection. Small, consistent actions, saving a little money each month, reading a few pages daily, compound into remarkable results over time. 3. Reflect and adjust regularly. Life is dynamic. Make time to review your progress and refine your path. As the Stoics believed, adaptability is key to resilience. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This wisdom urges us to focus less on abstract ideals and more on practical steps toward becoming our best selves. Each action, no matter how small, builds the foundation for the life we envision. In today's fast-paced world, the lure of instant gratification often derails our focus. Social media, constant notifications, and a culture of immediacy can cloud our long-term goals. But the Stoics teach us to look beyond the distractions, grounding ourselves in purposeful actions that ripple into the future. Imagine your life as a river. Each decision is a stone cast into its waters, creating ripples that shape the current. What kind of legacy will your choices leave behind? As we conclude, let us reflect on the timeless wisdom the Stoics have given us. These principles are not just abstract ideas, but tools to shape a purposeful life. They teach us to value our time, to embrace adversity, to accept our fate, and to think deeply about the legacy we wish to leave behind. Each lesson calls us to live with intention and mindfulness. By practicing these teachings daily, we transform philosophy into action, and action into a life of meaning. Start small. Reflect in the morning, plan your actions with care, and end each day by reviewing your progress. Embrace every challenge as a step forward. Align every decision with your values and long-term vision. But wisdom, no matter how profound, is powerless without practice. What would your life look like if you embodied these principles? How would your relationships, your work, and your inner peace transform? The answers lie in your commitment to live Stoicism, not just learn it. If this message resonates with you, please like and subscribe to Stoic Narratives Official to continue your journey. Share your own stories of resilience and growth in the comments below. We'd love to hear how Stoic wisdom is transforming your life. Let us build a community that inspires each other to live intentionally, courageously, and with unwavering purpose. Let's take this journey together.